Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your Aptrepreneur, and the big news story today, I suppose, even put a video I was going to do largely for fun on hold, is that Uber and Lyft are being investigated by San Francisco as potentially being public nuisances. I'm actually having a really hard time thinking of a clever comeback to that. I'm not even going to edit that pause out. It's just a public nuisance. Really? Uber and Lyft, a public nuisance. Why? Okay, I read the article and there's a few things that they want to tackle. And a couple I agree with and a couple I don't. But, I mean, one of the things that they're investigating that is nice to know is driver pay, miles logged, and whether they're getting paid fairly. It's like, I mean, that's nice. Doesn't make either of them a public nuisance if we're underpaid. Does that make Walmart a public nuisance? Does that make Amazon a public nuisance? I don't know. So what are the other things? Well, sometimes there's like a Uber or a Lyft that are waiting on the road with the blinkers on and people have to stop or go around it. I don't know how that's different from a cab or most cars in San Francisco, but there you go. The one that made me really laugh was they want to see, is this service affordable to the poor? The answer is yes. Yes, it's way too affordable for the poor. And even if it wasn't affordable to the poor, who cares? You know what? That's life. I mean, if this thing costs $10 and you have 8, guess what? You don't buy it. You have no right. You have no right to this plant. You have no right to it. Also, you have no right to take Uber or Lyft. It is a luxury. It's a very, very, very economical luxury, but it's a luxury. If you can't afford a Lyft or an Uber, you can walk to where you need to go, or ride your bike, or drive your own car if you have it. I don't know why San Francisco's doing this, honestly. I mean, I take glee whenever Uber gets into trouble, but for San Francisco to be investigating the companies like they've done no good whatsoever. I mean, one of the arguments that has been made is like, oh, well, maybe it's causing more traffic because drivers are on the road driving and they wouldn't normally be driving because they want to pick people up. Okay, maybe, but by that same token, aren't people who are using Ubers and Lyft leaving their cars at home because there are drivers out there taking them places? Seems like it's got to balance out at some point. I don't know. So this is going to be an interesting story to watch unfold. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think the companies are a public nuisance. I appreciate that they're looking into the driver. In fact, maybe that's exactly what this is about. Maybe this isn't about being a public nuisance so much as it is San Francisco is embarrassed that Uber is in their city, and Uber is getting hit with lawsuit after lawsuit. They keep breaking all the laws. San Francisco keeps letting them go with warnings. And maybe this got to the point where San Francisco's like, you know what, we just want to really embarrass Uber or punish them somehow. So they're investigating them as a public nuisance, and then they're just investigating Lyft as well, just so that it doesn't look like they're showing any favoritism. I don't think Postmates or DoorDash is going to be investigated as a public nuisance, even though technically some of these things kind of apply to them too. It's late, folks. I've had a long week, and this news story, I mean, it's just so pathetic. I don't know how to be funny about it anymore. I just don't. But what do you folks think? Do you think Uber and Lyft is a public nuisance? Do you think San Francisco has any leg to stand on whatsoever? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my other videos, consider becoming a Patreon or buying some swag from the Great Media Universe store. It does help me do what I do. And as always, flame responsibly. #delete Uber.